Hi, Beauty Fam. I thought I would come on as I am once again reorganizing my space, and I had to rearrange it again to make it work for me as I am mostly working from home. So I do a shared space of this is generally the library, my home office, and then beauty space. So I thought I would show you a little bit of what I'm working on. And if you have any feedback or ideas, or if you have these pieces of furniture, I would love to hear how you have worked your beauty space or office space. So let's start. So here we are with my beauty space slash office, and that is the desk I primarily work from and also film. And I have a knockoff of a IKEA Alex drawer, but I actually got that from Wayfair. And in this drawer here, I primarily put my work items, so things that are office, non-beauty related. And this is a desk that elevates up and down. I work off of 2 laptops, and then I do my beauty filming here with this ring light and natural sunlight that I have here. Do most of my filming here, and let me do a wide shot so you can see. I pull a lot of my items from this IKEA Alex drawer, the smaller one. But here I am with, I ended up getting a larger Alex drawer because I found that this vanity I initially started with is no longer working for me. So I'm eventually going to either sell it or give it to my mother, who would like another piece of furniture. So in the meantime, I've moved it to the side to just get rid of it out of my workspace. But I used to work off of here, and this was my main beauty space. And the issue with this is that the mirror is too tall, so I would only have my head popping up here, and I couldn't see what I was doing. And I had one drawer, which I've emptied because I'm going to eventually either sell this or move it. And the issue with this vanity is that I could never elevate my seat high enough to clear the mirror to see my face. So it wasn't really a functional vanity. I also did not really like this piece of furniture. I mean, this, I don't know what this is. It's supposed to be maybe how you pull it open. Anyway, it was discounted at Wayfair, and sometimes they have really great stuff and sometimes it's hit or miss. So it's not anything necessarily wrong with the piece of equipment, it's more the design. So I eventually will probably be getting rid of that. So I decided then to migrate all of my beauty items to 2 main drawers, the large Alex drawer and then this one on the right. Okay, so here we are. This is the desk that I normally work from and also film. And I love seeing how people organize their beauty spaces. So if you have ideas, please share down below how you organize your brushes in your beauty space. So I find that having some sort of L type of configuration nearby for me to grab my makeup either on my left or right is the best way for me to work. So I ended up putting most of my makeup to the left of myself here. And on top here, I have my brushes, and then kind of base prep, hair, some makeup remover, and then I put my lip glosses on top because I don't have too many. These are all my lip glosses, and I like to use them as toppers or just last minute grabbing of moisturizing my lips. Let me show you how I end up storing my brushes. I have a thing where I don't like to hear the clacking of my brushes on metal or glass. I think it's like an auditory thing. It's just a thing I have. I don't like to hear it. And it pains me even to hear the clacking of that. So my brushes, as you know, when you invest in brushes, these are delicate pieces of tools, but art, and in my opinion. And I didn't want even the sides or particularly the bottom to hit any solid surface, and I didn't like hearing the clanking on metal or glass. So I wanted something that had some sort of felt or cloth padding inside. So I felt that these would be a good compromise. They're fairly cheap. I was eyeballing that Sonia G wood brush holder, but I just couldn't bring myself to spend, I think it's close to $200 of a container just to hold brushes. Maybe at some point I might think about it, but I just like to organize my brushes by, and I can show you how I do it. These are for cream products. These are my Sonia G brushes. These are my Wayne Goss slash Refer slash Spectrum Katie Jane Hughes brushes. And it's quickly becoming very full. These are my liners and eyeliners and tools for eyeliners, like smudging, and then brushes when I want to use eyeshadows that I can make turn into a liquid and make a more fine eyeliner. These are kind of like a random brush holder that actually should go here. So I tried to, things like powder are in this cup holder, and obviously that's not one of those containers. And then I have another holder of mostly Sonia G, but also kind of higher end brushes like Chikuhodo, some Refers in here. These are primarily for powders and bronzers. And then I have another one just for lip pencils. And then I try to keep my Lisa Eldridge lip liner separate. So yeah, I just keep it this way. And the reason I didn't end up getting that Sonia G brush holder is that I like to grab the container based on what I'm working on in my routine, if that makes sense. And I just didn't want to have to like lug that whole Sonia G beautiful woodwork piece of art. For my vanity, my original vanity used to be over here, and it was just not functional. I couldn't fit anything in there. And it's not that I was overflowing in space, but it was just not functional for me anymore. So trying to figure out my space. I'll probably end up trying to see if I can film this way. And here is, I love this. I've been also looking for a way to showcase this beautiful mirror, something for photographing, but also just for a vanity. I ended up getting this at Home Goods, I think, for a relatively decent price. And, you know, fresh flowers, my beautiful plants that my friend, one of my besties, gifted me when I got a promotion, and just some things that I like to put out in rotation. So I want to start putting things that I love, like packaging, out on rotation. This is the Urban Decay Jean-Michel Basquiat mashup with Urban Decay. I just love it because he's one of my favorite artists. But, you know, putting things back here that I love, I probably will get rid of some of these because it gets a little bit too cluttered. But anyway, I just moved this today and I realized I wasn't filming. So why don't I show you what I ended up doing? And I think I'll link my other video about decluttering, which I did, I think at the beginning or the end of last year, where I decluttered a lot of the makeup in here. And I actually started decluttering again because I'm moving some things over here to make it more functional. So why don't we start over here? Because some of you might have seen that. So something to note is that these IKEA drawers, these long ones, these wide ones, the top three are, I think they're only about three inches tall. And then the bottom ones might be 4.5 to 5. So the height is not very much, which means I was trying to fit this in here, my Suqqu products in there, and they weren't closing the cabinet. So they'll have to go back into here. So the thing about this IKEA drawer, which I love, is that they actually open up pretty long. They're pretty deep. So they go far back, and they only leave maybe about 3 inches of wasted space back there. Or maybe more. Let me see. Actually, there is some wasted space, about 4 or 5 inches, but you get a lot of room to put your makeup. So it goes from maybe 4 inches to probably at 6 inches of height. So things that stand taller can be put in the last or the bottom 3 drawers, which I'm going to have to put back this one. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have my Suqqu collection higher, but alas, I'm trying to configure some of this out. So because these Tom Ford quads are also tall, they have to stay in one of the last 3 drawers here. And this bottom one, it ended up being kind of, you know, loose bags or equipment, things I wanted to keep for supplies of filming. And these top drawers are kind of my foundation drawers, and I want to put my Suqqu lipsticks together with my Suqqu quads. So I'm trying to figure that out. And this is pretty much my top drawer of top shelf items. I like to have an L or a U configuration, usually in a corner, just so I can grab things very easily. So let me show you the top. Again, the top 3 drawers are they don't have much height. So most things here have to be laid flat, which I didn't realize when I bought this. So if you're considering buying one of these drawers, you either go for the bonus of this being wide or the bonus of this being deep. So there's pros and cons to both of these. I just needed more space to lay out to see what I had. I found that I wasn't looking so much in here because it was getting buried and I couldn't see my product. So what I ended up doing is putting my cloths over here because that's functional. And here are my top shelf items. These are things that I grabbed. These are basically my neutrals, and here's my Visi art. And then here to the left are quads or palettes that I feel like I haven't used enough or filmed. So for example, I have some Surratt in here and then some Cleona singles in my Z palette, and I haven't gotten to either using them very much or filming. So I put them up here because they're also like it's not top shelf and like my favorites. They're more top shelf and like, you need to use these. So I actually bought the NARS one, and I got these at cosmetics company store, the Tom Ford. So I need to move these over here, and that basically whatever's up here is what I'm going to either grab for filming or just trying out. The second drawer is my project pan, and I have a video for my project pan. And if I don't want to think about what I'm going to be using that day, I'm compelling myself or training myself to use what's in here as my project pan, because I'm ambitious, I know, but some of this stuff is expiring. For example, these all expire soon. This is going to expire soon. This Suqqu foundation will be expiring soon. And I think, yeah, that's it for my project pan. And I just have, so let me show you how deep it goes. It's probably about, so my hand, like that length is about 4 to 5 inches deep. So that's wasted space unless you just don't mind putting things in there that you want to keep but don't need to see. So the third shelf, what's in here? This is why people would get this drawer. I can see why. If you want to lay out your product so you can see it, or if you have some beautiful makeup that you just want to be able to see because it makes you happy, that makes sense. So I could see why you would, something broke there. Why something like this might be appealing. So I find I've been grabbing for my cream shadows a whole lot, and I've been frustrated because they've been over back here behind my brushes and I can never get back to them. See, they were back here. And so it would just be this whole thing of me opening the drawer, and I said, that's enough. I need to be able to grab these one and done shadows and also see them. They're really beautiful, but I know that myself that I tend to grab the cream shadows as one and dones when I'm in a hurry. That means I don't have time to fuss with blending makeup. I just might grab one, maybe two, and put it on and then call it a day because I'm going to work. So you can see here I've also have my one and dones of Chantecailles, and I figured I'd put my Chantecaille eyeshadows because they look so pretty together. I don't have too many. This is it. And then I consider these one and dones as well because they're also liquid. So I had this metal container, and I ended up putting it, just fit perfectly in there just to make sure it didn't move around so much. So I'm hoping here's the thing that you'll know is that, because there's room back there, unless you pen the products in, they're gonna slide back there. So I ended up putting a little bit of a jersey barrier back there so it didn't shove back there, if that makes sense. So I ended up also putting this up here because I just love these products, the way they look, just the packaging. Marc Jacobs. I don't have too much Tilbury anymore. I only have 3 Chanel eyeshadow palettes. The Givenchy, I love this pattern. I love to see it. And I also put this on my top because I found that I was not reaching so much for my cream blushes. And I find that I tend to reach for my cream blushes when I'm using my cream shadows. So I ended up I know this because I just know how I think what's going to work for people if you know how you use your makeup and then figure out how you organize from there. That would be my hot tip. So I know that when I'm using cream shadows, I tend to grab for a lot of more cream products like the cream blush or cream blushes I have over here. I don't have too many. I'm not a big cream blush fan, so that's probably it for me. So now we have the 3 not so deep drawers, and then we go to a deeper drawer. And I decided to put all my Pat McGrath in there. That's a lot of pink and gold. So I am not gonna lie, it makes me happy to see them splayed out this way and displayed out this way. Before, they were shoved in here towards the back. Yes, because it could fit back there. You do lose a lot of space, but all my Pat McGrath was shoved back there. And I found that I would have to struggle and fight to get back there. So, you know, that's the downside of these Alex drawers, is that there's wasted space back there. But if you don't mind putting things back there that you know you're not going to grab, then it's fine. But okay, I'm going to show you again. Look how beautiful this is. This makes me really happy. That's beautiful. That's all Pat McGrath. So anyone would like to guess which Mothership palette I do not own? I own almost all of them except for one. I did own it at some point, but I ended up either gifting it or selling it because I found I was not using it. So at some point, maybe I should do a ranking video, and you're going to guess which is going to be the least loved one because it's not here. I just love seeing it. I mean, you can see where she started having this certain aesthetic of the faces. But yeah, I'm excited to see what she comes out this year for the next Mothership. And I think we're all hoping it's not pink and gold. Anything but pink and gold. Anyone want to guess what's at the next drawer? And so this is looking a little sad, and I'm not quite sure what to do with this. My Natasha Denona is in here. Yeah, and then random palettes like the Adept and Tiny Marvels. I actually want to keep it that way because I want to see it. Yep, Lila Gold. That's no longer Tropic. I actually repurposed that to hold the colors I didn't like anymore. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like having them flat like this because I feel like it's wasted space, but I'm not sure what to do with this. Okay, and if you have ideas, let me know. Back here I have my summer products, so like summer foundation that are deeper extras, backups. I'm almost done with some products, like Gold Dust is in here. The bottom is, oh yeah, this is the random drawer. So I do curl my hair. I like to have my curling iron nearby because I find if I put it away, I won't curl my hair. So I like to have my one tool nearby. And when I get a chance, I really do like to do my nails. I haven't been to a salon in over 2 years, but really do. I'm gonna put this up here. Some really fun colors. Triple O Polish. I love that brand. It's a Black owned nail polish brand. Also More Clean Beauty, the Dior. I'm gonna pull that up here because those are my most used in my collection. And now that it's getting summery, springy, I'm gonna pull that one as well. So back here is like any equipment and then travel bags I have. So I thought I'd show you the space. If you have any ideas, let me know. I am always trying to figure out what to do with these. So I'm gonna put this camera down and might figure out what to do with this. Okay, I figured out what I was gonna do. I moved the Natasha Denona palettes down here so they could lay more flat. And then I'm cleared that out again. The summer shades are back there. And what I'm doing is clearing out all of my, see, now I can see actually what's there. I'm clearing out this, which I need to get rid of that. I don't like that. Okay, I'm just making these nice. And I'm seeing already what I should just get rid of because I know I don't use it already. This Fenty, I just always, well, you know, let's keep it. Okay, I can't think about that right now. So why don't I move these over here? That's a Lisa Eldridge sample for deeper. Okay. That Okay. Great. There, that fits a little bit nicer. So I do have space. You know what? I'm going to move that over here and put that here. Okay, that's so much nicer. So these are all the foundations I own. Actually, there's two more that you're not seeing, but that's my lipstick and blush drawer. Okay, so back to the project at hand. I wanted to move my Suqqu products down here. What's a bummer about these Suqqu products is that they're so pretty to put up like this, but one cannot tell which one you're grabbing for without looking at the number. And I don't have all the numbers memorized, so let me just try doing this. I'm gonna put all of them here. So these are the holiday ones. And these smaller ones are from the old collection, the old formula. So I just had random Huda Beauty. I'm gonna put that up here because I didn't use that much yet. And then the Wayne Goss, I don't want to keep that up there. I kind of consider this a little bit like Tom Ford. It's just classically beautiful and just functional. So I'm gonna put that over there. I emptied that second drawer. And so these are my project pans up here. I ended up pulling these because my OCD side of my personality wants all of the Suqqu together. I have the blush, which is the 101. Yes, the 101. It's my favorite blush. I used to have 102, but I didn't care for that. So I ended up getting rid of that. This is the Suqqu Holiday palette from 2021, I want to say. I love it. Many people didn't like it. I think it's because these last two shades were hard to work with, but the rest of these were just so pretty. I want to pull these up here so then I can see the colors. You know what I mean? So there's more light. You can actually see the colors more. So I just love products that actually where you can see the product. So, you know, Suqqu does oranges and browns really well. So I have a Suqqu in 040. That's my summer shade. But what I love to do is actually mix it. So I'm going to put that here. Sometimes this 35 is a hair too light. And there's something about this formula, it's light reflecting, so it actually looks sometimes lighter in camera, which I'm not too keen on. But in real life, it looks fine. But I love to cocktail those two. Here are all my Suqqu quads. And as I was saying before, from the regular packaging, I can't tell what they are. These two top ones had some glitter on top, so I know those are the holiday ones from 2021. The ones on the right are smaller packaging because it's a different formula. And I only know them by... That's the Signature Eye series. Those are permanent. That is limited edition. Permanent. And I think that's permanent too. This is from... Oops. Flowers in the Garden, I think. I noticed with Suqqu that depending on who's curating that collection of that season, the ones that usually are marketed heavily towards Europe are much more bolder and vibrant in color, whereas the ones in the Signature series, these are the permanent collection, are much more subdued and everyday. So I think the pre-summer 2022 it might be curated out of Europe. So I'm going to grab those because those colors look really vibrant compared to the rest. Yeah, I just love Suqqu. This is why I wanted to put them closer on the top. I adore this makeup and the quads. Let me put that back here. That's a limited edition as well. On the level of probably Pat McGrath and Tom Ford. I just love them. So that's all my Suqqu. And I just realized, so now I have this drawer empty. And so what I'll do is move that back in here. that's it. Thanks for joining me on this reorganization of my beauty space. But yeah, that's my setup. Thanks for joining me.